Everyone who commits to a long-term calling eventually faces the exact same creeping dread. Your physical stamina drops, your patience thins out, and you soon realize you are running completely on fumes. We all want to figure out how to maintain what seasoned leaders call freshness, a sustainable, lifelong capacity to do the work you were meant to do. When we feel that capacity slipping away, we usually panic. We start running 5 miles daily to fix our energy levels. We force ourselves to smile more to project enthusiasm at meetings, or we start browsing job boards for a more exciting title. We treat burnout like an equation we can solve with better biology or a change of scenery. But what if those standard markers for vitality have nothing to do with actually staying the course? Trying to measure a deep-rooted spiritual calling using superficial data points, like your daily mood or your gym routine, is a guaranteed way to exhaust yourself faster. Let's look at the first major myth, the assumption that you need pristine physical health to maintain your drive over the decades. Look at the 17th century minister and author Richard Baxter. He lived almost his entire adult life with chronic, painful illnesses. He famously stated that he constantly felt like a dying man. Yet despite living in perpetual physical decline, he wrote some of the most widely read religious texts of his era and delivered powerful sermons until his death at age 76. Then there is the second myth, the idea that a fresh, vital person must have a naturally bubbly personality or display constant enthusiasm. It is entirely possible to fake high energy. Actors, politicians, and salespeople display boundless enthusiasm every day without any deep spiritual or moral grounding. Compare that manufactured hype to Charles Spurgeon, one of the most prolific leaders of the 19th century. He suffered from severe, crippling bouts of clinical depression. He carried the immense pressure of leading a massive congregation, and he often did it while struggling through profound mental darkness. But the depression didn't stop his output. Finally, we have the third myth, the belief that maintaining your passion requires glamorous work and exciting new adventures. Brother Lawrence was a 17th century monk who spent 30 years doing one invisible job, washing dishes in a monastery kitchen. If decades of physical agony, clinical depression, and washing the exact same plates day after day couldn't extinguish the drive of history's most effective leaders, then true freshness clearly does not rely on optimal human conditions. If we cross health, mood, and excitement off the list, we have to ask what actually fuels a person for 50 years of difficult work. Author Ajit Fernando answers this directly in his book on long-term ministry. He argues that freshness is not an emotional baseline or a physical state. It is simply the quiet thrill of maintaining an active love relationship with God. The biblical text described this specific drive as a deep thirst, comparing a person's need for the Creator to an exhausted deer panting for water. A career high lasts a few weeks. A physical peak lasts a few years. But relying on the Creator provides a well that never runs dry, regardless of your physical or emotional state. That ongoing dialogue with the divine is the only infinite fuel source capable of sustaining a finite human being through an entire lifetime of labor. There is a crucial distinction to make here. Operating with this kind of spiritual freshness does not grant you immunity from pain, sorrow, or disappointment. You will still catch the flu. You will still face heartbreak. You will still have heavy mornings, and that doesn't mean you've lost your vitality. The difference lies entirely in how you process those inevitable negative experiences so they don't calcify into permanent bitterness. When you internalize pain, offenses pile up on a timeline, forming a toxic bottleneck of resentment that clogs your system. But bringing grievances to God acts as a filter, neutralizing the anger so you can keep moving forward. The Apostle Paul described this divine comfort as a highly practical tool. It is a functional mechanism used to heal specific, immediate wounds before they can rot away a leader's foundation. Stop trying to measure your life's vitality by impossible, secular metrics. True endurance has nothing to do with perpetual hype or perfect health. It is found entirely in your proximity to the Comforter, right in the middle of the mundane and the painful.